If your thought process is you're not sure what to do with AI because, well, maybe you're a little timid, maybe you're a little nervous, maybe you've heard that AI is going to take all of your great ideas and potentially give them to other people who might be a little faster moving. I guess those are all concerns. I think that the days of privacy are over. I don't know how well that's going to sit with you. I know that for me, it wasn't a great realization to admit such powerlessness. But I think with the terms of service we've all agreed to, whether it was iPhone or TVs or whatever it may be, I think that those ships have sailed. Now, that doesn't mean that they should be activating video cameras and watching us while we're sleeping, but well, you know how that goes. Whenever you start talking about things, whenever you're with somebody and you happen to mention something that is sold in the market, whether it's a service or a product, it magically starts to kind of show up in your feed before you've even asked the question online as to, is this good? Where can I find this? Once you do that, then it's automatic, all in. So on your social media, you see all this stuff reflected and you see these advertisements bombarding you. That's something, if you're a real estate agent, you're a small business owner, you could potentially leverage that to maybe help your business. I don't mean at a point like they're doing to harass people, but there are ways to kind of feel out what's going on in the market. And you would start that by using your social media channels in a more strategic way, less tactical. A tactical way is just responding to posts and interacting and seeing, the neighbor's kids or some relative's kids somewhere and saying, congratulations, good job on graduation, good job on whatever kind of honorable mention you've earned. And that's all wonderful. But using it more strategically is finding out where the big businesses happen to be in local areas. If you're on Facebook, join some of those larger community groups, make your voice known, and not, I'm Connor, I sell real estate kind of known, but, interact with some of the posts. And you might have to actually take some kind of a political stance. Vanilla doesn't work for people, but people that like chocolate, they love chocolate. People that like vanilla, people that like strawberry, they love strawberry. There are early iPhone adapters that live and die by these models that they'll go out and they'll prepay for it months in advance if they can. And those are the people you want. You want the people that are really passionate about things. So you go on there and you watch these interactions and you start to kind of become part of that world. That's super helpful. And with that, you'll start to be known. You want to make sure that your name, whatever the URL associated with your Facebook account, and if you've never gotten in there to manipulate that, you can. On a personal Facebook account, you can actually have a custom URL. So mine's facebook.com/Connor with honor. Okay, that's not just a clever name. You can also have something like that, and maybe it's attached to your name, but maybe right now it's just a whole bunch of gobbledygook of numbers. You can actually go into your page settings and you can modify that to be something else. So when people are looking for your page, you might even comment, my Facebook account is Connor with honor, or your Facebook account is, Shasa's curtains, or whatever it may be. So that's something important. Also on Instagram, when you go onto that network, you can also join those local communities like the Sheriff's Department, Chamber of Commerce, the library, whatever it is in your wheelhouse that you happen to enjoy and like. And then you start to do posts and monitor those groups. Now, there's a little bit of work involved here. It's not going to come to you for free. There are systems out there that you can automate the responses using artificial intelligence to these particular interactions. However, I think there needs to be time set apart by you if you want to try to attract people in these circles and you look like that real estate consummate professional or the HVAC guy or the plumbing person or the electrician person, whatever it may be. You can build those out strategically, not tactically. We talked about that. Strategic is that bigger game plan, and develop a schedule for yourself. Get it on a calendar. If you don't have a calendar, I have some fantastic ones with my business. We have just minimum price of admission. You get several different things. That's a selfish plug for me. You can go to honorelevate.com to see that. But we build out these AI architectures for businesses, do an AI audit, and kind of see where you are and where you can better be placed. Finally, I'll close with this. If you happen to be a local business and you haven't gotten your Google My Business page set up, you need to do that. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. It's not difficult. There's plenty of YouTube videos on how to get it set. Don't forget it. It's not a rotisserie oven being sold by that Ron guy. This is something you need to update. You should update it every other day at least. And the updates that you put in there aren't going to be self-promotional in nature. It hates that. Those bots out there will scrub it down. And if you start saying Connor with honor this, Connor with honor that, it's going to cut it, or whatever your brand happens to be. But you'll want to update it with factual and good, solid information. And if you happen to sell real estate, you're going to want to talk about the market, maybe how many properties in escrow, how many properties have sold, what those property types look like. Very easily gleaned from the multiple listing service. If you're an HVAC company, you'll want to put in information potentially on what things that homeowners can do to protect their unit, to increase that longevity. Maybe it's about, gating the compressor that's outside. Maybe it's leaving enough room so it can breathe, or not giving pets access to it so they urinate and pee on it or whatever. So you give these kind of updates, it's going to start working. I promise. If you want to hear more from me, you can hit me up at connorwithhonor.com. I appreciate you watching. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you in the next one.